Hey everyone, Caveman here. Just wanted to do a video that's a little different from what I've been doing lately, which is a couple live streams and doing my playthroughs of Red Dead Redemption. I completed Mass Effect 1, and currently right now I'm working on Doom 2016, which was supposed to be like the third entry of the series, but they just called it Doom. But I just wanted to show you guys my PlayStation 1 collection and kind of some of the games that I have and some of the memories that I have with them. To kind of start this collection off, I'm going to show you guys off the Lunar Collection, which is complete. It came with the map in the game, came with a little booklet, and it also comes, with the 4-disc for the game. This package that the game originally comes in is actually really fucking cool. Got some pretty cool artwork on there. The package is a little beat up, but, it's pretty cool to have. Moving on to these next couple games that I got, these are Madden, Lion King, NHL Face Off, and this classic games for Activision. I was on eBay and I bought a video game mystery box, which came with a bunch of video games like Super Nintendo, Atari games, some PS2, and some PS1 games. And I believe it came with one Xbox game, but it was like a soccer game that I eventually sold because I don't own an Xbox and I'm a little bit of a Sony fanboy over here. Moving on to Resident Evil 2. I got this at an anime convention at ASIN a couple years ago. I believe it was 3 or 4 years ago. And at the anime convention, they have, video game sellers, or video game retailers. So I was able to get this for a decent price. I think I paid like $25 for it. I don't know if it's complete or not. I might be missing the manual, but it definitely does have the 2 different discs for Leon and Claire, I believe. Over here we got the Final Fantasy Chronicles, which comes with Chrono Trigger, and Final Fantasy 4 or 5. I think that's 5. I got Chrono Cross right here, which is the sequel to Chrono Trigger, but I believe it's a prequel. I could be wrong about that. This also came complete, and I got this brand new, but when I received it in the mail, the pack or the case for it was broken. So every time I open this case up, this whole front case just pops right off, which is kind of annoying. Moving on, we got Final Fantasy Origins, which is the first 2 Final Fantasies. Never really played these. I did download these on my phone with emulators and ROMs and whatnot, and kind of played through them a little bit too old for my tastes, but there's a bunch of newer editions of these out that you can get, which are probably even better than this. This is also complete. Kind of wish I never opened this up, but it is what it is. Moving on to one of my favorite games that I played growing up, which is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. My brothers and I used to play this game all the time, and we played like just about every game in the series. The only ones I probably have never played was Tony Hawk Underground or anything later than that. I do have the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remastered on PlayStation 4 and 5, and I think it's awesome. Fear Effect. I bought this game. I've never played it. I've only watched videos of it online, and I always thought it looked really cool and thought it had a cool story to it, and I've always wanted to try it out, so maybe one day I'll do it for my channel. I don't know how grindy it's going to be or if it's like an actual RPG, but I think it might be something cool to add. Next, we got Final Fantasy Anthology, which comes with Final Fantasy 5 and 6, maybe? So I'm not too up to date on my Roman numerals, but another great classic edition to add to my collection, I thought. Comes with 2 discs. Has some pretty good games on there. And yeah, a lot of these Final Fantasy games I thought were pretty cool to have because I never owned a Super Nintendo growing up. So I thought these were just really, really cool to have. Next, we got Final Fantasy VIII. I believe I also got this brand new, and this is complete as well. I used to play this a lot when I was a kid. It definitely wasn't my favorite entry in the series, but I thought it was pretty cool. A lot of people have their differences with it. Some don't like it, some do, but I think it's a great game. Final Fantasy VII is probably my favorite RPG in the series. I've beaten this game probably 2 times, and I played the remaster edition that came out for PlayStation 4, which I thought was really, really cool. I was a little worried how they were gonna remaster this and redo it all, but I think Square did a pretty decent job with it. Next, we got the Legend of Dragoon. This game was really cool growing up. My brothers and I used to play that all the time. You could come up with really cool combos and playing the game, and when you're doing the fighting in the game, you can hit different buttons to like do more damage and things like that, which I thought was really, really cool. Something a little different than all the other JRPGs that were coming out at the time. We got Xenogears. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I've only played this a little bit. I never really got too far. I remember I played this for like a good couple hours and I got stuck in the game. And I didn't really continue it on much more after that. But I think this is another game that I might play on my channel eventually. I am a little worried that these games might be a little too grindy, and I don't want to be sitting there trying to level characters up and just uploading videos of that. Next we got Final Fantasy IX, which is another great entry in the series of Final Fantasy. Hopefully one day they'll do a remaster of this of some sort, or make it purchasable. Or no, it is purchasable on PS3 and PS4, and I think you can play it on the PS5. Recently the PS5 is what I've been playing the most of because that's the newest console I got, and that's like what I love right now. A couple of these loose copy games. We got Tekken 3, we got Parasite Eve 1, the first game, complete. Well, not really complete, but there's no case or manual that I have for it, but a really underrated game that I thought was really cool that I think you guys should definitely check out. Over here we got King of Fighters, we got Guilty Gear, and then right here I have another copy of Final Fantasy VII. I have 2 copies because I believe in this stack right here of these loose copies, the second disc skips at a certain point and you can't play after that. So I think I bought this originally, and I think the second disc in this copy is busted, but I could be wrong. And then also I noticed that while I was making this, or stacking all these games out, was sorry about that, 1 second, was that the covers on the disc are different. I don't know if these ones are Black Label Final Fantasy VIIs, which they possibly could be, because if you notice, these ones on here are all white, and these ones kind of like silver, different look to them. I think they have all the same information and same stuff on them. It's just the color on the actual disc themselves is a little bit different. Moving on, Monsters Inc. I have no idea how I came to acquire this game. I think this might be a friend of mine's who just brought it over because he had a stack of PS1 games and left it. Next we have NASCAR 98 and Jet Moto. Both these games came in a that mystery box I had mentioned earlier that I bought off eBay for like 60 bucks or something. I thought that was pretty cool to get those. I've never played Jet Moto before, but I always remember seeing the demo of this at like Target or Walmart when you can actually go up and like play games and things like that, and they had like, you know, the whole PlayStation 1 stand. And then lastly over here I have some of my heavy hitters besides Warcraft II. I'll get into that. Metal Gear Solid, I think I spent around $150, maybe $200 on this game, and this is Black Label. It's sealed, still brand new. I'm worried that one day I'll open this up and it won't be Metal Gear and there it'll be something completely different, but you never know. I thought it was a cool purchase. Next we have Grandia. I believe this is complete as well. I got the manual in here for this as well. I played a little bit of this game and I thought it was pretty cool, but at the time when I started playing it, I just like, I forgot I'm in a couple bands, so like I rarely have time to play JRPGs anymore because they're just so time consuming. But I read a lot of great things about this game and I really wanted to pick it up and try it out. And hopefully one day I'll play it. We'll see. This next game, Mega Man Legends. Oh man, I used to have tons of memories of playing this game with my brothers Josh and Xavier. Mostly Josh, I believe. And this game is the first one in the series. There's Mega Man Legends 2, and there's also another game with the girl who's in the robot. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But this game I spent so many hours playing when PlayStation 2 was like out and about and like really cool to like be into and stuff like that. And I really loved the game, and it was something I really wanted to add to my collection, and I think I spent between $200 and $300 on it. I'm looking back now, like realizing how much money I spent on these games, and like maybe it was not worth it, but it is what it is. And again, we got Warcraft 2. I believe I bought this at Disc Replay for like 10 or 15 bucks. I thought it was just pretty cool to have. Like, you rarely see like, well, not rarely, but now a lot of PC games are coming to console and vice versa. But like back in the day when you had PS2 and you didn't have a good gaming PC or a good PC at all, because back then they weren't really called gaming PCs, this was something really cool to have. I believe PlayStation also had Diablo 1 on their console as well, and I'm sure they had Warcraft 1, but I don't remember those at all. Over here we got the original PlayStation that came out. One of my fondest memories of this was I grew up with Nintendo and Sega Genesis, and when the PlayStation 1 came out, when you could rent consoles at Blockbuster, I remember my dad taking me and my best friend, my neighbor Mike, to Blockbuster to go rent the PlayStation 1, and the first game we ever played for it was Resident Evil 1, and it scared the shit out of us. I remember we got to the top scene where you get to the clock and the zombie's eating someone and he slowly turns his head in that cutscene, and my friend and I, we stopped playing the game from that point on. And then next over here we got the newer PlayStation 1, and this one comes with a attachable screen, which I thought was really, really cool. My last apartment, I used to play some PS1 games here and there, and this thing was really cool to just have like sitting on a coffee table, and was able to just game out and stuff. The next game I think I want to add to my collection, which I don't see here, I thought I had, was Final Fantasy Tactics, but I may have misplaced it or put it somewhere, but I thought I had that. I'm looking over all my games and I don't see it here at all, which is kind of concerning me because I thought I had it. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video of my collection. I might do a couple more of these. I have a decent amount of PS2 games and a good amount of PS3 games that I thought I might show off. Again, if you guys like what I'm doing with this channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. It makes me feel good that like people are like watching my stuff and whatnot. And hopefully you guys like the video. Oh, and one more thing. There's my dog, Sophie. She's just sleeping. We just gave her a bath. Either way, have a good day, guys. Take care.